What's up, guys? Don Juan. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Excursion build. So what we're going to be doing today is the transmission drain and fill with the Mercon LV, which is like the revamped version of SP, but that's the one that the 6.4s use, and we're going to be doing the 6.4 oil transmission pan and the 6.4 filter element for the transmissions. Let's get underneath the truck. I'll show you what you guys need to do, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so right here you're going to need a 13mm to take the plug out for the transmission. You're also going to need a couple 10mm for the pan itself and a 22 for the front filter element. But what I did right here was I just let it drain most of the way out, put the plug back in, and right here I'm using a short 10mm with a ratchet. There's 3 that are closer to the transmission bracket that you're going to have to use a short on there. You won't be able to get like a impact in that area. You have to just break those loose, and I just took them out by hand. Now here we're doing the rest of the pan all the way around. It's just impact gun, real straightforward. Now after you get it loose, you got to be careful. There's still going to be some fluid in there, so you can see I bring it down and then I kind of tilt it into the pan so that the remainder of the automatic transmission fluid can be drained into the pan. Alright, so I did let it sit for a little while, and then now we pulled the filter element out. That's the first one. The 6 liters have 2. You have 1 inside, and then this right here is where the second one's at. And I'll move the camera here shortly, but you can see I pulled it down right there. It's basically in line where the transmission going towards the transmission cooler. That is the other filter element on the front, and that's what the housing looks like. That's underneath there. If you see here, there's a small hole in the center. We're going to be using air to push into that hole, and here's the air right here. If you put compressed air through that hole, there's a secondary hole, and the rest of the fluid will come out. Keep in mind it comes out from both sides, so the transmission is still open right now, so there was some dripping out of there. This is just cleaning up the mating surfaces. The gasket is reusable, and I recommend reusing the OEM gasket. The one that they supplied was kind of cheap, so the OEM one's better. But this is where I made a mistake here. I have the 6.4 filter in, and the pan that I ordered does not fit. You'll see here in a second. I put it up, and it does not fit over the filter. And I'll be putting the appropriate part number up on the screen, but essentially I had to wait a couple days. So this is a couple days later, got the new pan in, so I didn't record that spot. So now we're just adding some Mercon LV. I put about 7 to 8 quarts into it to start off, and you can measure about what comes out. I think after everything was said and done, I had about somewhere between 8.5 and 9 quarts is what the whole thing took. And as you can see here, you just fill it straight into the transmission dipstick tube. I just put a little funnel there, and then you just pour it straight in. So after you put it in, you want to check your cold level. The dipstick has a cold and hot level. I made sure my cold level was about right in the middle, maybe a little bit over. Then I took it for like a 10-minute test drive. So this is outside now. So now we're checking it at hot level to see if we need to add any more fluid. So I'll show you here in a second that what it looks like. So right there, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see it's higher up, so it's in the hot. I think I added about a quarter of a quart, maybe about a half a quart at the most, and it should be pretty much good. You want to check it again afterwards.